Hi, I'm Crystal James, and I go to Columbia University. What do I think it means to act white? Well, honestly, I don't think that there is such a thing as acting white. I think that there are stereotypes that people have in their head when it comes to a white person and what that white person would act like. Maybe speak properly, have really good grammar, very conservative, associates himself with other white people, dates white men, possibly has a lot of money, a lot of status, somebody who listens to white music, pop music, rock music, anything other than hip-hop and R&B music. I think those are what comes to mind when somebody would think of the characteristics or the stereotypes that surround a white person or a white woman, but there's no such thing as acting white. I don't think that those stereotypes hold for everybody. That's just a stereotype, is not fact. And if a black woman decides that she wants to date a white man, or if a black woman decides that she likes pop music or that she doesn't like hip hop music, that doesn't mean that she's acting white. That means that she's making her own choices, and that's what she chooses, and that's who she is. Do I feel like I am black enough? Do I feel that I am a good representation of a black woman? I definitely feel that I am. I am proud of my ethnicity. I am proud of my background, my culture, my race. My father is born in Jamaica. My mom is a mixed race. And I am proud of who I am, and I don't think that I act or try to portray anything different than who I am. I don't act white, I act like Crystal Victoria James. I don't act black, I act like Crystal Victoria James. Honestly, I think that that's an issue that needs to be addressed. Why should you be able to say that somebody acts black using the same stereotypes that somebody was using in the opposite sense to say that you were acting white? It's the same problem. In my case, I didn't even really realize it until I look back and see what I've said to my friends in the past. My sister's best friend, her name's Shayla, she's Canadian, and she will like dance in a certain way or act a certain way or say something, and she'll be hanging out and with all of us, and she'd be the only girl there that was not black. And so sometimes we'll make a joke or a suggestion, but this is all in good fun. But when you look at it a little closer, maybe it still wasn't the right thing to do. One time, one of my friends was spending the night at my house, and she's African American too, she was my age. And one of her other friends called, and he's a white guy our age, or a little bit younger. And she was talking to him on the phone. And I had never met him, I've only seen his pictures, and he's like a fun guy, he's one of her friends, and I was like, okay, cool, friend of a friend. So she gives me the phone so I can talk to him a little bit. And I started talking to him for a little while, and then he asked me if I was white. And I was like, no, I'm not white. And he's like, are you Hispanic? And I was like, no, I'm not Hispanic. And he's like, are you Asian? I'm like, no, I'm not Asian, I'm black. He paused for a second, he's like, oh, you's a proper black bitch. Yeah, that happened. And I couldn't talk anymore. I was just shocked. I had to give my friend back the phone. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. But the thing is, even though I was shocked, I still laughed at it. And I don't know, looking back, I'm like, can't believe I laughed at it, but then I did. He obviously asked that because I don't have an urban sounding voice. I don't have any slang in my speech. I don't have any ebonics in my speech. And apparently, if I don't talk that way, then I can't be black. Of course not. You can't be black and speak without any slang in your speech. It's actually to that point nowadays where people will hear you on the phone and make assumptions like that. I want to figure out what's going on, what's going through the brains of these young women, and how is that reflected in society overall, and how society views certain races and certain cultures.